Alright, just crossed the state line in California, right outside of Azalea Lake. And I'm going to be heading to my trailhead here. It's a couple miles away. And we're going to be visiting the graves of 3 people. This is pretty far up on the trail, close to Azalea Lake. They were victims of a civilian airplane wreck that occurred in 1945. There were actually 4 people involved, but the pilot, I believe, his body was removed and he was buried somewhere else. But anyway, we're going to be taking the road there and we'll get started. Alright, so we are here at the trailhead. It's a beautiful morning. We're actually in between storms here, so it's going to get cloudier as the day progresses. That's what they forecast. Anyway, I am here at the Shoofly Trailhead. This is right off of Forest Service Road 1040. Hey. And we're going to be taking this trail all the way up to the graves where the airplane wreck occurred in 1945. You can take this trail all the way to Azalea Lake. It's a pretty long distance, but I'm only going to make it as far as the plane wreck. That in and of itself is probably going to be about 6 or 7 miles one way. So the trail is pretty dark in here. It's very nice. It's going to be woodsy all the way, and it starts off descending quite a bit, a couple hundred feet down, and I'm going to be following close to the river, which you can hear down below. Already there's a few colossal giant trees, such as this one right here, a good 5 feet in width. Another one right there. Absolutely gigantic dogwood flowers. That one is about 6 inches across. So there's a lot of growth over the trail in some areas. Hey. So we've been getting kind of wet here and there. Taking a little break. That might be Desolation Peak. It looks really killer from this side. Here's another view of that same cliff. It's cool with that overhanging rock. Might call that the Sphinx. Looks just like it. A few miles in and we made it to this cool little cabin. Nice area for a campsite. That's where I came from right there. It's a fire pit. There's a strong smell that somebody was cooking here recently. A little rake and pail. There's a nice cozy little shelter. So there are a number of signatures in here. Recent ones like this one. It's May of 2014, 1994. There's even some older ones, like this one right here, 1963. It's kind of dark in here. There's one here that even says June 6, 1936. And I'm not sure, this could be, I could be reading it wrong. It could be January 8th, 1931. It looks a lot more recent than that. It's definitely not 1831. Alright, so now we'll keep on moving along. Still got a little distance to go. We're basically going all the way around Fruit Mountain, which me and Canadle did that peak about 3 years ago now. think I have a YouTube video on it. Anyway, that peak is a good 3,000 to 3,000 feet above us. Over that way has killer view of the Red Buttes and Kangaroo Mountain. Now we're coming to the other side of the big cliff face there. Pretty nice on this side too. It almost looks like all fresh snow. Looking across the valley there. Maybe that's Desolation Peak. Not sure. It's got some really nice, gnarly terrain. Yeah, one of these days I'll hit the Pacific Crest Trail and tag all the peaks up in there. Oh. Ourselves a nice little find here. I don't think I'll keep it though. Another little break here. This rock has interesting designs on it. Nice flowers. Alright, so I haven't been recording of late. Made a sudden change of plans and I decided that I was going to check out Azalea Lake. I'm glad I did. Very pretty little lake. Of course, this all got burned 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Lodgepole forest. There's still a part of the shoreline here where it's green, but the rest of the lake, as you can see, is pretty bare. And then I'm going to jaunt a little bit to that side and try to get a much better view of, I think that's Figurehead Mountain. Try to get up there. I ended up passing by the graves. Apparently I didn't even see the plaque or anything for it, so I'm going to be trying to look more carefully as I go back down. But I just decided that, you know what, another 2 more miles and I'll hit this lake, so I decided to just push it and climb the extra 1,000 feet to get to this beautiful spot. That right there is the outlet, and it looks like I can easily cross through these logs right here. Got some snowmelt water pouring into the lake through the burn area. I'm on the opposite side now. That's a really lovely view of Figurehead. If I had had an earlier start, I might have been tempted to go up that, but can't tell if I hear a lot of frogs. There's a chance that there could be another lake. I know that there's a couple others in some of these higher cirques. Alright, so leaving the lake now and back to the Shoofly Trailhead. It's probably got to be 8 miles or so back down. Just below Azalea Lake is this unnamed tiny little pond. And it's also got a nice view of Figurehead from a slightly different angle. A lot of cedar trees in here. Saw a couple of weeping spruce. So I am right where my GPS coordinates tell me I need to be. I'm not seeing a single marker whatsoever. And the topo map makes it clear that it's right here. Now, of course, topo maps have been incorrect before. But even just the whole way up, I didn't really see anything that immediately stuck out. Alright, I walked back down, and I don't know how I missed it, but it's right here. Apparently it's about 3/10 of a mile from where my GPS coordinates said it was. But yeah, this is a pile of stones here, and there's 3 names here, excluding the pilot. So yeah, this will be 75 years coming up that this incident happened. I don't really see any signs of wreckage, but I may do a little scoping around. I mean, I'm sure a lot of it could have been covered up by now. Alright, so there's really nothing to see here. I kind of scoured just the immediate area and really no plane wreckage in sight. It's probably somewhere else. It could be where my GPS had me going. It could have been all around in there. I forget what the year is. Somewhere in the 70s. But any plane wreck that occurred before that certain year in the 70s, it's considered historic and left as it is. Anything afterwards is usually cleaned up. So, I don't know if they would have cleaned up this particular wreck. It's so remote. I mean, they even left 3 of the bodies here, which is kind of a lonely place to be buried. But I guess there's not really much vandalism either. There's another plane wreck that I've been eyeing to visit way deep in the Chetco River area. I'm hoping maybe to tackle it sometime in the fall when it's a little bit cooler. The only problem is you have to descend probably about 3,000 feet to get anywhere near it. So it's going to be a real pain trying to get to it. I've never seen this kind of bug before. Interesting.